100.7 FM, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria.
100.7. 100.7. 100.7.
Melody.
100.7.
Melody 100.7 FM. Stay cool with Melody.
He's onside this time. He's got Crespo in support. Here's Hernan Crespo, 2-0.
From the thunderous roar of the stadium to the silent moments that made history, from the dusty fields of Africa to the bright lights of the world stage, this is Sports Echo.
It's volleyed and it's in. And it's in. A goal in 50 seconds from Milan. Oh, would you believe it? Paolo Maldini, the skipper, has scored it. Lifted into Shevchenko, he's onside this time, he's got Crespo in support. Here's Hernan Crespo, 2-0. Hernan Crespo. Look at that from Kaka. And what a pass too for Crespo. And what a goal that is. What a goal that is. Hernan Crespo again. Sublime pass by Kaka. Well, now played for Milan as well. Was Gerrard! Hello! Here we go! Steven Gerrard puts a grain of doubt in the back of Milan minds and gives hope to all the many thousands of Liverpool fans.
Good afternoon, sport lovers. This is Sport Echoes on Melody 100.7 FM. On this show, we dive deep into stories behind the scores, the legends, the heartbreaks, the breakthroughs, and the unforgettable moments that shape sport as we know it today. And there's also the quiz segment where I ask questions, and if you get them, yes, you're gonna win something. Alright, from Nigerian golden goals to Olympic shocks to African giants that shook the world stage, this show is your backstage pass to the past. I'm gonna be bringing you facts, voices, memories, and maybe even a few cheers as we relive the moments that made fans scream, nations proud, and history take note. Yeah, so whether you're in traffic or at home or you're just chilling with your radio, yes, I promise you this, after today you will never see sports the same way again. It's not just your regular sports show. Yes, this is Sport Echoes, taking you back to those iconic moments in the ever exciting and ever buzzing world of sport. Alright, I welcome you in the name of the chairman of Melody FM, Prophet Sam Adebayo Ojo Baba Authority, and also the general manager of Melody 100.7 FM, Ediola Afolabi, the sports marshal. The producer of this show is Pretty the Finest Adegoke. Big shout out to the guys taking care of DIZ, Moses Olatoye, Omo Yaile, so the studio manager for today. Yes, we're currently live on YouTube, active on Radio Garden, Melody 100.7 FM. So on YouTube is Melody 100.7 FM, and on Radio Garden is Melody 100.7 FM. All right, I'm Akinbobola, Egunfemi. Welcome aboard.
Linda, from Branca to Buckner, there have been numerous so-called GOATs over the years, and well before Ralph Branca threw that pitch to Bobby Thompson, and since Bill Buckner let Mookie Wilson's ground ball go between his legs, they've all been verbally abused and had their feelings hurt, but for the most part, that's where it has ended. Earlier this morning in Medellin, Colombia, World Cup soccer fans took that about 1 million steps further. On June 22nd in Pasadena's Rose Bowl, the U.S. won a 2-1 game in which Colombia defender Andres Escobar accidentally kicked the ball into his own net. Colombia, one of the favorites going in, was eliminated in the first round. The team returned home on Wednesday to anonymous threats that were carried out. It was at 3:30 a.m. in front of this restaurant. 27-year-old Andres Escobar got into his car. He was surrounded and shot 12 times and killed. Allegedly, one of the assailants yelled, "Thanks for the auto goal." In Colombia, thousands of mourners gathered to mourn the loss of the Colombian star. Meanwhile, the team that benefited from Escobar's mistake was shocked by his death.
It's a complete lack of respect for life, you know, in the face of what in reality is just a game, you know. And of course, you know, at this level, that gets kind of blurred. But you know, it's a very sad day.
The players, you know, obviously were sad when we heard the news this morning, and that you know, our thoughts and our prayers go out to his family and to all his friends and his teammates on the Colombian side.
Meanwhile, at Cup games today, players wore armbands, and thoughts of the fans, as well as the governing body of soccer, FIFA, were on Escobar.
We are very sad because we cannot understand how passion can then go or derivate into murder. And this is for us something which is incomprehensible and which is absolutely a horror.
Well, 2 unidentified men were arrested. 2 others are being sought. A reward of $62,500 being offered for the capture of the suspects. Escobar was a highly regarded player known for his clean and elegant style.
In other soccer news, Diego Maradona made an announcement today. This is the 3rd time Spain has advanced to the round of 8. Second round World Cup action continues tomorrow afternoon. Romania against the Maradona-less Argentina team, beginning on ESPN at 4:35 p.m. Eastern.
That was an insert back then in 1994. Quite emotional. Yes, when Andres Escobar, who scored an own goal right there, was killed. Yeah, after the 1994 World Cup. Yeah, it drives me into today's conversation. Yes, so we are diving into one of the most emotional, uncomfortable, and fascinating stories in sport history. How does a hero become a villain? How does the same crowd that won't sign your name suddenly turn against you? In sports, greatness brings love, but greatness also brings expectations. And when those expectations are shattered by a missed penalty, a controversial transfer, or a red card, a scandal, or even a political stance, the fall is brutal. Today I'm going to be traveling from the roaring stadiums of Europe to the pressure-filled pitches of Africa and to the bright lights of America's biggest arena to revisit moments that changed legacies forever. From footballers who were labeled traitors to Olympic champions stripped of glory. We also look at global icons who face boos instead of applause. Some found redemption, some never recovered, and some paid the ultimate price. Hence why I played this clip of Andres Escobar, who was shot 12 times. He was killed after he scored a lone goal in the 1994 World Cup game. Quite sad, quite sad. Also in the quiz segment, I'm going to be asking questions. Are fans too harsh? Or is it that emotional intensity is what makes sports so powerful? In the next 40 minutes, we're going to be talking about if it's just sports or if it's about loyalty, identity, expectations. And yes, we'll also talk about what happens when idols fall. And today's topic is Euros turned villains. Some of our heroes, some of the guys we've praised before, who turned villains. Some of them after major transfer. Some of them, after scoring own goal, just like Andres Escobar. And starting today is Luis Figo. Yes, Luis Figo, football's greatest breather. It was known as football greatest breather. If you want to understand what it means for a Euro to become villain overnight, you must go to Spain, and the year was 2000. Yes, the year was 2000, and the name is Luis Figo. In the late 1990s, Figo was not just a star at FC Barcelona. He was the symbol of the club. He was the captain material. He was creative. Some people call him the creative genius. One of the best wingers in the world. He was also idolized of the Camp Nou. Barcelona fans adored him. His jersey sold everywhere. He represented flair, pride, and the Catalan defiance against Madrid power. And in Spain, football is not just sport. It's politics, its identity, and its history. We talk about Real Madrid, Los Blancos team. Every time they talk about the UEFA Champions League, it's all about history for them. That's the bragging right of Real Madrid fans. In the early stage when the UEFA Champions League was created, they were winning it back to back to back to back. And right now, it's still their bragging right. Anytime you argue with a Madrid fan, they would always tell you, look at the Champions League. Don't talk when I'm talking. So in Spain, football is not just sport. its politics, it is identity, it is history. And Barcelona versus Real Madrid, not just rivalry, it's a cultural war. Now then came the bombshell. In the summer of 2000, Real Madrid presidential candidate, quite shocking, is still the man named there, Florentino Perez, made a bold campaign promise. He said, if I win, I will sign Figo. Yeah, most people laugh. There was no way Barcelona's golden boy will cross enemy lines. But Perez won the election, and days later, the unthinkable happened. Luis Figo signed for Real Madrid for a world record fee of around £60 million. 60 million euros, I beg your pardon. Now let that sink. He was Barcelona's captain. He was their leader, their hero, joined their biggest enemy. And imagine how Barcelona fans will feel at a very delicate time. Someone in the caliber of Luis Figo leaves the club. And not just join any other team, not in the Premier League, not in the Spanish La Liga, maybe Atletico Madrid or Villarreal, even the Italian Serie A. He joined their greatest rivals, Real Madrid. Let me take you back a bit. Before Ademola Lookman joined Atletico Madrid, if you remember vividly, one of the clause of Atalanta, yes, that Ademola Lookman shouldn't join Inter Milan. He said he could join any other team, but not Inter Milan, because Inter Milan, they are one of the biggest teams in the Italian Serie A. So most clubs don't like to sell their key players to their rivals, especially teams that are doing so well in their league. Well, for some league, don't really care. When you talk about the Bundesliga, Dortmund literally sold their birthright to Bayern Munich. For some league, it doesn't matter. When you talk about the top 5 best leagues, it matters to some of these top clubs. That was what happened in the case of Luis Figo. The reaction was nuclear. Barcelona fans felt betrayed, not disappointed. The bond is shared. They called him a traitor. They also accused him of choosing money over loyalty. And when Figo returned to the Camp Nou wearing white, the atmosphere was hostile beyond imagination. Deafening boos every time he touched the ball, objects thrown onto the pitch, and the most infamous moment, a pig's head hauled from the stand, landing near him as he prepared to take a corner kick. A pig's head. You can imagine a pig's head. That image became one of football's most shocking symbols of fan fury. Why was it so intense? This wasn't just about a transfer. Barcelona sees itself as more than a club. For many Barcelona fans, Messen Club. More than a club, that's the meaning in Spanish. Real Madrid historically symbolized central Spanish power. To move from Barcelona to Madrid wasn't just business. It felt like a betrayal of identity to fans. Figo didn't just change employers, it switched sides in a war. Most times when new players join Barcelona, the usual thing they say is Visca Barça, Visca Catalunya. That's more or less like an oath. If you take that oath, Visca Barça, Visca Catalunya, you automatically surrendered to Barcelona. So if you're caught in that deal, you're going to pay for it. So if you want to leave, I mean, just pay your dues. Just like Lionel Messi did. He paid his dues in Barcelona and they left the club to Inter Miami. He didn't join Real Madrid. He didn't join Atletico Madrid. He went straight to America. So that's the way Barcelona fans feel. Now, a big question is, was Luis Figo wrong? Now, let's break it down honestly. From a professional perspective, it was a record contract. It elevated his career. He won major trophies at Real Madrid. And from a fan's perspective, now to pin it, Barcelona fan perspective, he was their leader. He never openly hinted at leaving. The move felt secretive and cold. And this is where the Euro to Villian transformation happened. Expectations create emotional ownership. Fans don't just support players, they feel they own part of their loyalty. And when that loyalty shifts, anger replaces admiration. You know what? Let's listen to the voice of Luis Figo addressing what happened back then in 2000 when he made that major move to Real Madrid, Los Blancos side. Stay tuned. This is Melody 100.7 FM.
2000, obviously your big move from Barcelona to Real Madrid. What was you thinking and how did that move happen?
This situation was during the Euro 2000 and suddenly I got a call from my agent. He said, the candidate of the elections in Madrid want to pay your clause and you go to Madrid. I said, what? In that time my clause was 60 million euros. So what you want me to do? So I have contract. I told him, okay, you listening what you have to say to you and that's it. And I communicate that to Núñez, the president. I said, look, candidate want to pay my clause. So I told him the situation. He said, okay, bring the money. And I said, okay. You think that I'm doing bluff to get
bluff? Yeah.
No? Okay, so I went to holidays and the things start to get more serious, you know. And in the end, you know, what happened.
Obviously your big move from Barcelona to Real Madrid. What was you thinking and how did that move happen?
This situation was during the Euro 2000 and suddenly I got a call from my agent. He said, the candidate of the elections in Madrid want to pay your clause and you go to Madrid. I said, what? In that time my clause was 60 million euros. So what you want me to do? So I have contract. I told him, okay, you listening what you have to say to you and that's it. And I communicate that to Núñez, the president. I said, look, candidate want to pay my clause. So I told him the situation. He said, okay, bring the money. And I said, okay. You think that I'm doing bluff to get
bluff? Yeah.
No? Okay, so I went to holidays and the things start to get more serious, you know.
That was Luis Figo in the Mikel Obi's podcast when he addressed the situation. I mean, thinking about it, 60 million was a whole lot of money. At that time, 60 million. If you convert it, you're going to be seeing about 200 million plus right now for a player. And it's only honest for Luis Figo to move. I mean, football is all about the body. It's not going to be making that body down. I'm talking about it. This is 26 years later. Still has to live like a former or a top professional footballer. Yeah, it is what it is. The Barcelona fans did say like that. Alright, leaving Luis Figo and straight to Africa. Asamoah Gyan. Now, talking about Asamoah Gyan, if Luis Figo was betrayer, and this story is about to be heartbroken. Yeah, this story is about heartbreak, I beg your pardon. Yeah, talking about Asamoah Gyan. And the stage was 2010 FIFA World Cup. And what happened that night still lives in African football history. The 2010 World Cup was historic. For the first time ever, the tournament was hosted on African soil. South Africa was that African team that hosted the World Cup. I vividly remember that was my first World Cup. I sat there and watched every of the games. I know 2006, I think I watched the final, but I was little. But 2010, I watched it. I mean, I was still a young boy. And by the quarter-final stage, only one African team remained. The Ghana national team. They weren't just playing for Ghana anymore. They were playing for Africa, from Lagos to Nairobi, from Dakar to Johannesburg. The entire continent was behind them. And leading the line for Ghana was Asamoah Gyan. He had already scored crucial goals in the tournament. He was Ghana captain, the country's all-time scorer. He was also their trusted hero. And the match was Ghana versus Uruguay. Certain so many Africans or so many Nigerians remember this particular game. It was in the quarterfinals and the opponent was Uruguay. The game was tense, dramatic, physical. The dying seconds of extra time, the score was 1-1. And then came chaos. The Ghanaian header was goal bound. Something to go in. But Luis Suarez handed the ball on the goal line. I mean, he did that deliberately. And he was sent off from the game. Ghana awarded a penalty. Last kick of the game. If Ghana scored, they would become the first African team in history to reach a World Cup semi-final. The stadium held its breath. The continent held its breath. And the man who stepped up was Asamoah Gyan. Quite shocking. It struck the ball. It smashed against the crossbar. The ball bounced out. The whistle blew. Extra time ended. The match went to penalties. And for Ghana, sadly, they lost the shootout. Uruguay advanced to the semi-finals. Africa's dream ended. For Asamoah Gyan, he collapsed into tears. Teammates tried to console him, but across Ghana and across Africa, devastation turned into something else. Anger, some fans blamed him completely. The Bond jerseys sent threats, accused him of failing the continent. Talking about how large Africa is, the weight of about 1.2 billion people felt like he had landed on one man's shoulder. And remember, this wasn't social media era. You can imagine, it wasn't social media era. Yet the backlash was intense. For years, that mass followed him. No matter how many goals he scored afterward, people would say, but he missed that penalty. I mean, just like Yakubu Ayigbedi in Nigeria, he scored many goals. Even for the Super Eagles, he's one of the highest goal scorers. But people would always talk about that game, that World Cup game 2010. That was against South Korea. Yeah, where he missed the one-on-one clear chance. And maybe if Nigeria had scored that one, they would have progressed to the next round. Until now, that is what everyone describes Yakubu Ayigbedi as. They would neglect his fantastic career in the Premier League, Everton, and even with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And that's the same way for Asamoah Gyan. Let's be honest, before that night, he had scored decisive goals in the group stage. He carried Ghana through qualification. He was already their all-time leading scorer, yet one miss overshadowed years of brilliance. Why? Because context magnifies memories. It wasn't just a penalty, it was history, it was pride, it was the belief that Africa was finally breaking through. You can imagine the record of a semi-final was just broken in the 2022 World Cup. Morocco doing justice to that. And imagine how many years afterwards. That's about 12 years. It took 12 years for Africa to get to the semi-finals of a World Cup, and it would have been done and dusted in the 2010. And the bigger picture is doing it on African soil. You can imagine, because it was hosted by South Africa, so it would have been big for Ghana. This is where it gets deep. In many African countries, sport is more than entertainment. It is escape, it is unity, it is national identity. Now, when infrastructure struggles, when politics disappoints, when opportunities are limited, football becomes the symbol of global relevance. So when a player fails on the biggest stage, trust African fans, they take it personal. And it feels national, it feels like destiny slipping away. But yeah, it's the irony. Years later, many Ghanaians began to reflect differently. They realized without Gyan, they may never have reached that moment. It didn't feel Ghana, it took Ghana to a place they had never been before. Over time, perspective softened. Gyan remains Ghana all-time top scorer, a 3-time World Cup goal scorer, captain who carried responsibility with courage. He even stepped up again in further tournaments, proving mental strength. But you know what? That 2010 penalty, it will always be part of his story. You know what? Let's listen to Asamoah Gyan reflecting on that moment where he missed that crucial penalty against Uruguay. I guess what? He talked about it this year. How many years after? It's still haunting all up till now. That's how important some of these moments are in the player's career. He haunts them forever. You know what? Stay tuned. This is Melody 100.7 FM. Let's listen to the voice of Asamoah Gyan reflecting the moments where he missed that crucial penalty.
Tell me how you feel, because we've seen some big superstars, Baggio, among many others over the years, miss big penalties in tournaments. Take me back to that moment and the feeling. What are you thinking about immediately?
I let Africa down. That was one of my worst moments in my career. Worst moment. I would have ended my career at that time.
Ended it?
Yeah, I would have. You remember after the game, we went to a penalty shootout, and I took it first. I was the first person to take it. So that was what revived my career. Going to that penalty shootout and then scoring. That was what revived my career. I would have ended my career there.
You must have been scared.
I was scared.
Your legs must have been gone.
I was gone. My head, my everything was gone. I was emotional, like it's crazy. But I went there during the penalty shootout. I said to myself, it was just a mistake. Just go and prove to people you can score. I went there, took it, and I scored. And that was what revived my career.
Rio Ferdinand when he had an interview with Asamoah Gyan, and in that clip Asamoah Gyan said he was gone. He would have ended his career. That's how sad, that's how bad it was for that brother when he lost that crucial penalty. Yes, that was Ghana against Uruguay. Alright, leaving Asamoah Gyan and straight to Emmanuel Adebayo. For Nigerians, they say Adebayo. For those pundits, then we say Emmanuel Adebayo. So you can pick any word. Adebayo or Adebayo. In the mid-2000s, Adebayo was a Euro at Arsenal FC. Arsenal fans loved his speed, area power, and goals. He became a key striker under Arsene Wenger. By 2009, Adebayo had cemented himself as a fan favorite. He wasn't just scoring goals, he represented Arsenal's attacking spirit in the Premier League. Fans trusted him, they sang his name. They believed he had the club's colours in his heart. In 2009, Adebayo made a move that shocked the footballing world. He signed for Manchester City FC, a direct rival in the Premier League. See, this is what I talked about when I addressed Luis Figo's matter. Top teams don't like to sell their key players to rival teams. They'd rather sell you to another league, but not to their fellow brothers. So that when you score, you're not going to do the celebrations that will really hurt the fans. Although Arsenal and Manchester City at that time were in the same level of rivalry as Barcelona and Real Madrid, but the feeling of betrayal was immediate. I mean, when you talk about rivalry right now in the Premier League, you have to give kudos to Man City and Arsenal Football Club. That was why I said at that time. The fans' trust was shattered. But what cemented his status as a villain wasn't just transfer itself, it was how he celebrated after scoring against Arsenal. It happened in November 2009. Adebayo scored for Manchester City at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal home's ground. Instead of celebrating modestly, he sprinted the length of the pitch. I remember that celebration. Running straight towards the Arsenal fans, arm outstretched, he celebrated directly in their face. The crowd was outraged. Many described it as provocative, disrespectful, and unnecessary. The FA fined him. Pundits debated whether it was childish or intentional provocation. Arsenal fans who had once adored him now saw him as a traitor. But that moment on, Adebayo's relationship with Arsenal fans was effectively over. Bond jerseys appeared online and outside the stadium. He was vilified in media reports. Social and press narrative labeled him arrogant and disrespectful. Even fellow professionals criticized the act, arguing it as unsported. Let's listen to Adebayo clarifying the whole situation, what happened at that time, and what led to a celebration against the Man City.
I went to holiday, I came back to the club, and I have a quick meeting with the boss, and he was like, we don't need you anymore. And that was like, oh wow. Then I came the next day to the training ground. I was not allowed to enter the Arsenal training ground. That's when I realized that it's over. Then I went to Man City. That was the 4th game of the league. When we get to the stadium, Etihad, Arsenal fans were already at the stadium singing. I can hear Adebayo, you know that famous song, Adebayo gave him the ball and he will score. But this time I realized that the song is different. Now the newest version was attacking my parents, my mother and my father. Okay, you can insult me as you want, but not my parents. So I went to greet some of my brothers like Emmanuel Eboué, Alessandro Song, Clichy. They were giving me attitude. It was not brotherhood. I'm like, okay, now I understand what is happening. So Emmanuel, you have to give everything. When I score that goal for me, I call it a time of deliberation. Like I have to give them something back. And that's what I have did. And a lot of people ask me, do I regret?
Maybe it was Arsene Wenger that started the whole thing. After I returned, he said he wasn't needed. He made that move to Man City, and eventually, he saw a moment to pay them back. He scored the fantastic goal, and he even said that some of his brothers, African brothers, even gave him attitude. He finally said he did not regret it. He said they were causing his parents. He said he would accept causing him, but not his parents. That's Adebayo trying to clarify what happened. Yes, 2009 November when he scored against his former club Arsenal when he was at Man City. Alright, so just because of our time, leaving Adebayo and straight to Andres Escobar. This one is quite sad, because for some of these players, they had the opportunity 10 years later, 15 years later to talk about this situation. But Andres Escobar is no more. He was killed, he was shot. Sometimes some stories in sport aren't just about controversy or anger. They are about tragedy. And in 1994 FIFA World Cup, the world witnessed one of the darkest moments in football history. The story of Andres Escobar. Escobar was known as El Caballero, the gentleman of football, defender and captain for the Colombian national football team. He was calm, composed, brilliant on the ball, and he helped Colombia qualify for the 1990 and 1994 World Cups. Loved by fans and respected worldwide. Colombia had the golden generation in the early 90s. They were fast, talented, and considered favorites to make a mark on the world stage. Escobar's leadership and professionalism made him a national hero. That moment was June 22, 1994, round of 16 USA versus Colombia. Colombia led expectations of winning. The pressure on the players was immense, amplified by the influence of gambling and political turmoil back home. In the 35th minute, the disaster struck. Escobar attempted to intercept a cross in his own penalty area. The The ball deflected off him into Colombia's net. An own goal. Colombia eventually lost 2-1. They were eliminated from the World Cup. Back in Colombia, the reaction was extreme. Fans were devastated, but this was more than disappointment. Gambling losers and national pride intertwined with football. Escobar became a symbol of failure, despite the fact that it was split-second accident on the pitch. Tragically, the obsession escalated beyond criticism. On July 2, 1994, just 10 days after returning from the World Cup, Escobar was murdered outside a nightclub in Medellin. Reports indicate the killer shouted "Goal!" mocking the own goal. That was before shooting him. The killer shouted "Goal!" and they were trying to mock the own goal he scored. That was against USA. Authorities believe the murder was linked to gambling losses from the World Cup matches. The world was shocked. A player, a gentleman, a hero had been killed because of one unfortunate mistake. Amongst all of this story, this is so emotional, and that was why I decided to put it last. I played the clip earlier just because of our time. Yes, let's quickly head straight to this quiz segment where I ask questions, and if you get them, yes, you're gonna win something. Alright, the studio line 070 25 20 107 070 25 20 107. You can as well call 070 55 07 107 070 5507 107. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Jacob from Odyssey Road.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jacob. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing better. I like one of your quotes. Context magnify history.
Yeah.
What a quote. I'm really feeling you.
Thank you very much.
So how do you do, sir?
Okay, so
question number one because of time.
okay, where was the Premier League founded? Premier League. Where was the Premier League founded? What year?
1986.
Nah. One more try.
Maybe I will try again.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Tunde calling from Bragi.
Mr. Tunde calling from Bragi. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm very fine, thank you. Pick a number from... Yeah, one is gone.
Number 4.
Number 4. Who is the all-time top scorer in Premier League history?
Premier League history?
Yeah.
Alan Shearer.
Okay, how many goals?
100 goals.
No, 100 goals, okay. Nah, it's more than that.
200.
No. Okay, it's 260 goals, but the fact that you got Alan Shearer, I mean, so thumbs up, you won.
Thank you.
All right. So I'll read out my number, then we'll talk after the show. Alan Shearer, 260 goals. 070-2520-107 070-5507-107. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, Chukwuemeka, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay, just briefly, because of our time, pick a number.
Number 5.
Number
5.
Okay. Who was the first African player to win the Premier League Golden Boot?
The first African player to win the Premier League Golden Boot.
And how many goals? What season did he do it? What year?
2005. 2005.
2000 and what? Going. Gone.
2005.
Chukwuemeka.
Yes.
When you answer my question, you always get half most of the times. But you know what? I'll think of what to do. I'll read out my number. We'll talk after the show.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was Didier Drogba, and he did that 2006-2007 season, and not 2005 season. I'm talking about the Premier League. In 1992, the 22 First Division club broke away from the Football League to form the Premier League. So the Premier League actually started in 1992. So before 1992, it was called the Football League First Division, which was part of the Football League. So it was called the Football League First Division, but in 1992, it was called the Premier League. That's to clarify Mr. Jacobs' answer. That's the first caller. Just because of our time, I won't be able to pick any more calls. Alright, it's time to go. I can't pick any more calls. I mean, the studio manager right now is strictly the. Alright, special thanks to the studio manager himself, Omo Iya Eliso, and also Moses taking care of DIZ. Alright, so special thanks to the producer of the show, Pretty the Finest, Adegoke, and the general manager of Melody 100.7 FM, Eniola Afolabi, the sports marshal. Also to the chairman of Melody FM, Prophet Sam Adebayo Ojo Baba Authority. Thank you so much, sir, for this platform. Yes, I do not take it for granted. Until later today, 3 to 5 p.m. Yes, when I come your way again. The number is 081 11 744 773 081 11 744 773. Not just the winners. You can call me as regards Sport Echoes. If you think you want me to talk about something, if you need something, if you need me to clarify something dating back, yes, back into history, I'm always open to do that. All right, I'm Akinbobola. Egunfemi. Good afternoon.
darapọ̀ mọ́ ìkànnì Melody 100.7 FM.
Ẹ̀túyáyá ẹ wá jàre Ọlọ́run sàmójó kórèdé gbogbo ènìyàn ló máa sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀rí o.
lórí òkè òkú àṣejìrẹ́ ńbàdàn lọ́jọ́ Thursday 26 Friday 27 àti Saturday 28 February 2026 ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run yóò rìnrìn agbára pa iná ogun lára gbogbo èèyàn cross over and òru àṣírí February edition. àkòrí tí Ọlọ́run fún wòlíì àsọ̀rọ̀ṣẹ́ Professor Adébáyọ̀ Òjó authority bàbá wòlíì orí òkè ògo God of answers Ọlọ́run ìdáhùn ó tó àkókò afẹ́ tírètì gbogbo fáìlì ẹ̀bì àdúrà rẹ̀ kí wọ́n náà lè kọrin tuntun káyọ̀ bọ̀ gbégbá ọpẹ́ kátòkọ ìtàn rere ó torí rẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ nínú ìran láàrin ọjọ́ mẹ́ta lọ́jọ́ Thursday 26 Friday 27 àti Saturday 28 February 2026 látàgọ́ mẹ́sàn-án òwúrọ̀ tá a bá ti wọnú àdúrà ọ̀sán tóru ní iṣẹ́ agbára ó fi máa ṣe ọ̀pọ̀ ránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run àtàwọn olórin ẹ̀mí ló ń bọ̀ bí Professor Adébáyọ̀ Òjó authority bàbá wòlíì orí òkè ògo ẹni tá a fi ọ̀rọ̀ rán fún ìtúsílẹ̀ àwọn òǹdè yóò ti máa súre tí ìyanu yóò máa ṣẹlẹ̀ láti Ìbàdàn tó bá jẹ́ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun àṣejìrẹ́ ni ẹ máa bọ̀ àdójúkọ Coca-Cola lórí òkè ògo wà àkókò ẹ̀rí rẹ̀ rèé ó já lórí òkè. nígbà tí pa agbára bá pín tí ìgbìyànjú ò lè ṣe nǹkan kan tá a dá níwáyé wá fara.